Hello guys, welcome back to another stream. Um, well, let's just keep it with the pattern and start off with a Bible reading before we start today's stream. So, also as a little disclaimer, if I seem to have a little bit less energy than my previous streams, that is because I just finished doing a workout, so I am a little bit tired. So this stream might not have as much energy as my previous streams before. But I wanted to read to you guys a passage. I really like it, and I think it's a really good message to hear about, being a Christian and stuff like that. So the first one is in James chapter 1, verse 2 through 4, I believe. Yes, verse 2 through 4. So here it reads, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." And now I'm going to go to the next chapter over here, which is in Revelations chapter 2, verses 10 through 11. "Do not be afraid of what you are about to suffer. I tell you, the devil will put some of you in prison to test you, and you will suffer persecution for 10 days. Be faithful even to the point of death, and I will give you life as your victor's crown. Whoever has ears, let them hear what the Spirit says to the churches. The one who is victorious will not be hurt at all by the second death." So, I wanted to bring up those passages because it tells a lot about suffering when you are a Christian, and suffering for believing in the right thing and doing the right thing, right? It's like I feel like there's a common misconception about when you are a Christian and Christians in general, that because you are following God and because you're a Christian, you're not going to endure suffering and hardship. And it's like, honestly, the opposite of that, because when you are a Christian, you are a threat to the devil, you are a threat to the enemy, and because of that, he is going to continuously throw tribulations to you and trials to you. And so you will go through a lot of suffering and you will go through a lot of hardship, but persevering in that faith is so rewarding, as it says in Revelations chapter 2. It's so rewarding because not only do you get eternal life in Christ, and what that means is that when you pass on from this earth, you will be able to live with God in the new earth after this one passes. So not only will you receive eternal life, but you will also be living in the will that God has planned for you. And the will that God has planned for you is to prosper you, and it is not to harm you. He wants the best for you, and he wants you to succeed, but his version of success is so different from the version of success that this world prioritizes and that this world promotes, because success found in the Bible is true maturity and wisdom over circumstances. And that can only come through hardship and trials, you know what I mean? While success within this world is having great wealth, you know what I mean? And influence and fame and high status, right? Like when people say that, oh, you're successful because you have a lot of money or you have achieved a lot, right? But success in the Bible is it's so much more than that, and it's also so much less than that, because it's stripping away all the materialistic things that this world loves so much, and it's directly to the core of who you are as a person, and it's directly maturing and being complete within that maturity, you know what I mean? And being disciplined and stuff like that. That's truly like success, and really fostering within you, within your deepest core, the wisdom of God and allowing the Holy Spirit to dwell in you, that is really success. You know what I mean? And an example that I can give is like Spider-Man. You know what I mean? With great power comes great responsibility. And it's like he endures through so much tribulation, right? Being a superhero is not easy. It's hard and it's a constant battle, you know what I mean? And it's tiring and it gets you fatigued, but you have to keep on going, and he keeps on going. Spider-Man continues fighting the good fight, and he continues protecting people, and him doing that brings so much hope to the people that he rescues, you know what I mean? And it inspires them and empowers them, and it changes their lives. It literally saves their lives, you know what I mean? But Spider-Man, he doesn't get paid for being a superhero. You know, obviously he is popular because he is a superhero. He's Spider-Man. But Peter Parker is not popular. You know what I mean? Peter Parker is a normal guy. And not only does he go through the same tribulations as normal people, but he also goes through those enhanced tribulations as a superhero fighting these supervillains. You know what I mean? So it's like he grows through so much for the sake of helping people because he believes in something more than just he believes in with great power comes great responsibility, you know what I mean? And it's because of that that pushes him to continue persevering, you know? And the fact that he does it with hope within him, within a joy, and that's how he's supposed to be such a fun character. That is such a powerful story, and that is such a powerful symbol, you know what I mean? And it's why Spider-Man is such a popular hero, because he is so normal and he is so strong and he continues persevering with hope. And that's like one of the core messages of the Bible, you know what I mean? It's that struggling as you are a Christian and as you are pursuing the will God has planned for you, but you have that faith, that knowing that he will provide for you, that he will keep you safe no matter the storm, no matter the tribulation you are in. God will keep you safe, you know what I mean? And Jesus Christ saved you so that you can fulfill the will God has planned for you. You know what I mean? And through that faith, we are able to have joy and peace and security and laughter. You know what I mean? So we're able to enjoy times even through suffering. So I just thought that was such an amazing passage that I wanted to read, and also some of the passages that inspire me when I'm creating my superhero world. You know what I mean? I have it in my mood board of like, because it's like superheroes nowadays. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying some of them, and some of them are pretty popular, and I'm not gonna name names. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to start unnecessary drama. But I just feel like some superheroes, the authors are kind of missing the point. You know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like it's easy to forget when you're creating a superhero that it's not the superpower that makes them a superhero, but it's the person that makes them a superhero. It's the person that allows people to attach to them, to relate to them, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's something that really guides me as I am making my superhero worlds and my superhero characters. So I'm very happy that I was able to share that with you guys. And now that I did that, let's go into what the actual stream is about. So let me change my screen to the Photoshop file that we're going to be painting on today. Boom! This is a little painting that I started. Honestly, I was pretty busy since the last time I streamed, and we'll get into that right now. Actually, give me 1 second. I think I'm going to turn off the fan I have in the background so that it's not so much background noise. You know what I mean? Okay, I am back. So yeah, I just turned off the fan so there's not so much background noise. But let's get into what I was drawing for the past week since I haven't streamed. So, I have here this little file where I was doing painting studies. In my previous stream, I mentioned how I wanted to do painting studies because I'm not so comfortable painting backgrounds. And this was the first study I did. Honestly, it's not bad at all. I like how this study came out. I'm very happy with the time that it took. It didn't take so long. It took like 2 days. Like overall it probably took like 6 hours. And that's not so bad. You know what I mean? Preferably I would have liked it, but I'm not gonna spend so much time thinking about how much faster I could have done it. But this is the first painting study that I did, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out. One of the things that I'm most happy with is how I was able to imply a lot of shapes and structures. Like with these cars here, when you zoom out, you're able to see that it's a lot of cars on a street, right? But then when you zoom in, it's just a lot of paint strokes and abstract shapes. And I really, really love that in paintings, especially in landscape paintings, because I find it so like beautiful, honestly, when an artist is able to capture form and shape and like a beautiful vista and like very abstract textures and stuff like that. So over here in this building, there's like construction scaffolding was in the reference photo, and like a water tower and stuff like that. And I got this brush that allowed me to just paint in squares, and it's pretty awesome. Like, look at that. That's awesome because it's like an actual nice paint like canvas texture. So it's also able to like paint in buildings like very abstractly, very loosely. So that's this painting that I did, and this painting I did last stream as well. So then from here I was like, okay, I have a good little benchmark for myself, right? So let's try and do some no-tan studies. So what no-tan studies are is you're separating a piece, like a painting, into two values. So like, let's do an example here. Let me pull in an adjustment layer. Where is it? Brightness / contrast. Let's do that, and let's put the contrast. Oh, never mind. Oh, that looks cool actually. I really like that. I really like that. Let's delete that though, because that's not really what I was looking for. Let me bring in a new adjustment layer. Maybe instead I can do a gradient map and put this one black and white. Oops, black, and bring it like in the middle. So it's like, this would be a no-tan study, right? You're separating a painting into its two core values, which is just black and white, right? So you see here, there's a lot of shadow within the foreground here. These buildings are casting a lot of shadow. The street is on a lot of shadow, but the cars are producing light through the headlights and also the roof of the car. Because it's shiny, it's catching the ambient light from the sky. And then these buildings in the back are catching light from the sun, so it's a lot brighter than the buildings here in the foreground. And you can see that here in this painting. Maybe the values aren't as drastic as it is, obviously in the no-tan study, but that is the premise of what no-tan studies are, right? So then I brought it back to one of my previous streams where I was saying I wanted to study the Spider-Verse art style. And originally I wanted to do that with actual characters, you know what I mean? But I was like, I figured out, or I found another way to paint characters, and I love it so much, and I want to continue experimenting and exploring that, avenue of designing characters, right? So then I was like, I don't really feel like drawing in the Spider-Verse art style for my characters, you know what I mean? So then I was like, excuse me, what if instead I want to learn how to draw backgrounds, and I want to learn how to get better at compositioning? So what if I do painting studies of movie screenshots and concept art of the Spider-Verse movies? Literally amazing idea. You know what I'm talking about? So then, doing that, I'm learning value composition. I'm learning how to organize my values. I'm learning compositioning, and I'm learning drawing backgrounds in general and perspective and putting objects in perspective. So I started doing notan studies of screenshots from the Spider-Verse movie. These ones aren't completely faithful notan studies, because as you would see, these are gray values and there's like multiple different gray values, but the essence of it stays the same, that it's separating it into two core value ranges, you know what I mean? And sometimes three, but we'll get into that later on. So this first one I did here was Miles Morales on a subway looking at phone. So over here, right here, oopsies, over here you have Miles Morales looking on his phone, you know what I mean? And I didn't sketch any of these first ones out. I was just going completely in with just blocking out shapes and blocking out the value ranges, right? So this was the first one. I was pretty happy with how it came out, and I liked separating it into two values. It allows me to get a lot of information down on the page quickly, and I'm all about that speed, you know what I'm saying? So then from here, I did a second one, which is Miles waiting for the subway. This is a pretty iconic scene for good reason, because the compositioning is amazing. You have a very clear silhouette of Miles Morales right here, and the train here. You have some very nice contrasting shadows, because it is, underground. It's a pretty dark place. You have these street lamps here, or not street lamps, ceiling lights here, casting a very nice harsh shadow line. So it's just a very appealing shot. And as I said before, I'm not really sketching any of these out. Here is a more cinematic one, which is Miguel O'Hara serving Aura on a rooftop. I forgot I wrote that. But this is another, actually, let me place it in the references that I had. So this one was this one right here. This was the first one that I did, which he's here on a rooftop, and this one came out a lot more cinematic because there's a lot more gradient within the values, and I wanted to capture that. So it just came out to be more cinematic because of that gradient there. This one is not one of my favorites at all, but it was still, pretty fun to do. And then from there, I did this one, which is this bottom one here. I thought this one was super cool. I loved the density and amount of buildings that there were. I found it really cool. I liked how the values were arranged so that Spider-Man here is like contrasting really nicely because of his dark silhouette against the really lit background, just like right here. And it's a very dramatic piece and a very moody piece, so I wanted to capture that impact. And this is what I came up with. It's not the best because I wasn't, planning on making these like super detailed painting. I was just capturing the mood of the piece, and I was studying the mood, and I was studying the values of the piece, because that's what a notan study is. You're studying the values. So from here, I was kind of like, you know what? I think I have to do a little bit of technical drawing studies. You know what I mean? Which is like actually plotting out the dimensions, plotting out the perspective grid and stuff like that. But then I was like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna study Miles Morales' room, because the main reason why I wanted to do these studies is because I want to make a pilot right, for my character Noah Aldrich, and I want to start creating concept art for that, and I want to start creating environment concepts for his room and for the city that he's in and for like the cosmic events that take place in that world, you know what I mean? And to do that, I have to get comfortable with drawing rooms and landscapes and cityscapes. So I wanted to do this one because I really like how messy this room of Miles Morales, and I wanted to study how these artists were arranging the values to make sure that everything stays clear and presentable and clean while also being very informative. There's a lot of information on this page, and there's a lot of objects on this page, right? And I really wanted to capture that energy, and I wanted to capture that mood, and I really like how this came out. I like the sharp lines that I have. I feel like everything is really clear. There's no like blurriness, but there's also really nice textures. Everything just feels clean, but it is not in like a 1 point perspective. It is not in like a 2 point perspective. Yes, this painting is in space, but it's not capturing that dynamism that you get when you are drawing with a perspective grid. This is just a flat on look. So I wanted to study and do a technical drawing of actually something in a perspective grid. And this is when this drawing came out. And let me open up the actual painting I did this from. So this is the photo I studied, and I just love so much the values in this piece. The colors are really nice, the composition is really nice, you know, the story moment is really nice, but what stood out to me so much is the values, especially the values with Uncle right here. Like, that is so amazing. That silhouette casted on that ambient lit kitchen, like very soft lit kitchen, and that harsh silhouette with these harsh silhouettes coming from the pots and pans and this structure holding up the pans. I just thought that was amazing, you know what I mean? And then this strong light source that is coming from the TV illuminating these planes from these objects, right? Like, I just thought, like, this is literally a beautiful piece right here, and I wanted to capture that impact, and this is the painting that came. Some things are a little wonky, as you can see, but it was honestly a little hard trying to get the proportions of everything to a one-to-one match. But I'm still happy with the execution that I was able to pull off. And I also wanted to make sure that I wasn't, focusing more on I had to make every single thing perfect to the original painting. I didn't want to lose track of, I'm doing this so that I can study value range and putting things in space. And so I'm not really concerned with some things not matching up perfectly one-to-one, but I'm just really happy that I was able to, I sketched this out. And actually, let me pull up the sketch so that you guys can see the sketch as well. Let me pull it up. Painting studies. Bruh. Here we are, right here. So this was the sketch that I did for it. It was a very, very loose sketch. I didn't, use the line tool or anything. I wasn't really plotting it out like this. I was just eyeballing okay, this line looks like it will end up here. The horizontal line, the vanishing point, it looks like it will end up here. So I wasn't being super exact with it because, as I noticed in these concept arts, the lines aren't exactly perfect. Some things are a little wonky, like with this line coming out like this and this one coming out here, you know what I mean? This one having this slope and this one having a more dramatic downslope. So there are some things that are wonky within these drawings, but that's amazing because it adds to this charm within the Spider-Verse, that it's not perfect grid, it's not perfect, you know what I mean? it's like those flares, those like those fingerprints of the human touch doing these paintings, that adds that, it's just like, this is a moment of time, and this is like a slice of life. So this is somebody's life that we're looking at, you know what I mean? And those crooked lines really communicate that it's just someone's life, So I also, because of that, and I really liked that, as you can tell with how much I'm speaking about it, I really liked that, and I wanted to include that as well. So I wasn't like super, nitpicky with all these shapes being perfect, and I was, really embracing the slight skew of some objects here and there, you know what I mean? Because I really love how the personality comes through those skewed lines. And all in all, it still follows the space and the perspective that this, illustration is in. And then I tried doing another painting study. Oops, what the heck? Oh, this is the lol. Oh, I can't believe I just said lol out loud like that. This was another painting that I tried studying. I can bring up the photo that I was studying off of. This one right here. I really love the values of this piece. I love how light it is. It feels very, like alive, and it feels very, very free. It feels liberating looking at this piece because of how bright the values are and how soft the colors are. It feels very comforting, very warm, And I wanted to capture that. And I was doing the sketch, but I was not feeling it, to be honest, because within these painting studies, these were done within like 2 days. So I was like pumping these out. Like I was doing 6 studies within 2 days. So these were really, I'm sorry, within like maybe 2 to 3 days. I'm sorry. So I was like really pumping them out, and I was like, okay, one done, let's go to another one, you know what I mean? So I wasn't really allowing myself, I really wasn't allowing myself to just, you know what I mean? I completed one, let's reflect on it, let's see what I learned. And because I wasn't doing that, I got a little bit burnt out, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to stop studying from these photos, and I want to, there was this other photo that I wanted to paint, and I just wanted to paint it, and I was like, you know what, why am I stopping myself from doing that, But the lighting situation of that photo, I wanted it to kind of match this one here that I'm doing now, and it didn't. It was like just pure daytime, and this is kind of like daytime but also morning time because of the very warm oranges within these buildings, like an early morning sun, and like the cool shadows. So there's still like parts of the sky that are pretty dark. And I love that lighting so much. I love the warm light and the really cool shadows. So I wanted to put that same lighting, scenario within this piece. And this is the little drawing that I did. It's a 1-point perspective, so it's not like super advanced, you know what I mean? But I like it, you know what I mean? I like it because it feels very adventurous, and that's what I like within paintings, So this is the one that I am starting today, or continuing today. But I also wanted to make a point known that when I was doing the no-tan studies, I kind of got a little lost in the sauce of why I was doing them in the first place. Of like, I wanted to do the studies so that I can feel comfortable doing backgrounds, and so that I can grow that skill, so that I can do those backgrounds on my own without having to rely so much on a reference, And because I was focusing so much on doing no-tan studies out of the Spider-Verse concept art, I was limiting myself to, I'm not able to do a painting without a reference, or without a strong reliance of copying this reference, And that kind of hindered me, so I wanted to just say that as a little precaution for doing so much master studies, because you aspire and you admire this art style, specific art style, whatever master study you want to do, and you want to study it, there's nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? But it's also like, don't get lost in the sauce of I have to study, and that you think you will never like be able to be like, okay, I can continue now because I feel like I'm ready. And this is something in the Spider-Verse movie, you're not going to really feel ready until you take that leap of faith. Like, what's up, danger? You know what I mean? And I just wanted to, I don't know if this painting is going to turn out well, but it's just a practice painting, and I wanted to just get out of that headspace of, okay, I'm just gonna do master studies. I'm just gonna do master studies because I wanted to allow myself that air of experimentation. You know what I mean? Because it's like you can learn from copying another person's painting to learn their techniques, but you're not really gonna truly sit within that new knowledge unless you experiment with it. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to say that little piece of advice that I've learned of like, beware not to get stuck within that strictly studying mentality. And don't forget that you can make studying a little fun, a little quirky, you know? You can make studying, like, you don't have to be like, oh, I'm gonna learn a new texture today. I want to learn how to draw rock textures, so I'm gonna draw a rock on a white canvas. It's like, that's so boring. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And it's like, instead, draw a rocky beach shore. It's like, studying doesn't have to be something so boring. It doesn't have to be something that pulls you down and like oh, I don't want to do this anymore. It's like, it could be fun, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's really easy to make studying so much deeper than what it actually is, that you forget to have fun with it. And it's like, you just gotta have fun, you know what I mean? So that was just a little tangent that I had, and a little update that I have to give to you guys. And yeah, so I'm just gonna pull in my references here really quick so that I can get started on this painting. So I'm gonna pull in this one here because actually, you know what? I'm going to open it within a separate window so that you guys can also see the references that I am using. Just a little small. Let me make that a little bit bigger. Can I bring this here? Awesome, I can. Let's go. And I'm gonna make this one a little bit smaller, just because I'm just gonna be using it for the lighting as a guide. I'm not really going to be copying from this reference here. So I'm just gonna put that right here, and I'm gonna open up, I actually do know where it's gonna be. Let me open up my reference folder to pull in this reference here. Let me minimize this because I don't really need that right now. And let me pull this out. This was the painting that I was not the painting, the photo that I was talking to you guys about. I just like how the buildings are structured here. I like the road here and like these very straight on building, and then these buildings in the background. I just like how it looks, and I wanted to draw it. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to draw it. So let me just minimize that. And this is kind of has the same like lighting situation with like the very warm colored building, like with the light, as this one does, although this one is a little bit more intense. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm sorry, that sounded like I was gonna say something a lot different, but the first thing that I want to do is to change this sky, because I'm not really a fan of how this sky looks, to be honest. So I'm just gonna do it on a new layer because I don't want to completely destroy it, And I'm gonna start with an airbrush, and I'm gonna do like a nice blue. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's looking pretty good. Let me make it a little bit more, actually no, let me keep it like pretty saturated. I was gonna make it a little bit more desaturated, but I chose against it because I don't want to. Okay, that looks good. That actually looks pretty good. I actually like that quite a bit, to be honest. And I like that, you know, it's more brighter around this section. That's actually looking a lot better than the sky that I had previously. Like, what the hecky? Okay. Alright, and let's do, I think I should just, well, yeah, let's do some clouds. Let me find some references of clouds, actually, because I do love clouds a lot. I don't know what it is about it so much, but I just find clouds just to be very, I describe them as wholesome. I don't really know if that makes so much sense, but I find them to be very comforting. You know what I mean? I just like clouds, my guy. There's just nothing else I can say, you know? I'm gonna pull up this photo right here. I love how these clouds look. Hey. Oh, I probably have to save the image. I'm just gonna pull up that reference. And let me go back to here. Let me open it right here, this one. Oh, and also let me pull up these ones for the color reference. And let me make it small. I love this drawing so much. Let me see if I can actually find the artist, because this is on Pinterest, and like Pinterest is pretty notorious for not crediting artists. Oh man, I don't know if the artist is here. Let me see. Maybe I found the artist. I don't really know. No, this is not the artist. Ugh, bro. Oh, that sucks. I can't find the original artist that did this painting, but it's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I hate Pinterest for not crediting artists. It's so annoying. But let me make this one a little bit smaller because I don't really need so much information from this painting, to be honest. Or yeah, from this painting. It's just the general shape of the clouds and the colors. Alrighty. Let's do these clouds. I love how dark the sky is. So I'm gonna make the sky a little bit darker. But I also like how desaturated the sky is there, so I'm not gonna go crazy saturated. But it's still gonna be. Ooh. Oh my goodness, that looks pretty dope. That looks pretty sick. I like that a lot. Okay, let me stop. It's a little bit cringe. And let me just plot out some shapes with this cloud, y'all. Marker. That's a... Okay, that's an awesome brush. So let me just pull up with the white. Or actually, let me pull up with the yellow. Yeah. I love the shape of the clouds, of how they're like going over there. I like that. Let me remove some of them. Okay, period. And actually, you know what? I love sometimes. I love the clouds. Let me get an eraser, and let me actually get a better textured eraser. I wonder if I can get the same. Let's go. Got the same brush as an eraser. Oh, I love it. Let me do a thick cloud to finish it off there. Ooh! Sorry, I don't know what that was. That was a little bit of a weird noise, to be honest. Okay, maybe I can do like a bigger cloud here in the distance. Yeah, I think that's pretty legitness. Let me get an eraser. Make that a nice, clean, crisp bottom. Let me erase some of these shapes here. Oh, I liked that little shape that created. Very awesome, very cool. Very awesome, very cool. Very demure. Very mindful, very intentional. Yeah. Let me do some clouds in the distance. No, those look like little farts or something. It's weird. Let me get a smudge brush, actually. I want to try and experiment with that. Right here. What's the keyboard to that? Shortcut to that. There's not a keyboard shortcut. Okay. Ooh, I like that. Motion. It blurs it. That's pretty cool. Do I like that? I think I did it a little bit too much there. Let me do it. Ooh. Oh, yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. Don't like that. I think it's just better if I just like... Let me push this side though. Blur it out a little bit. That side. Oops. Let me push it up though, so that it's not like concaving down. It's still like going to the beyond. Let me erase this cloud. I don't know what that cloud is. Ooh, I like that. I like erased it, but it's not completely erased. Let me do some of that to the edge here. I love this brush. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. Detail's insane. Let me erase this a little bit. Awesome sauce. Let me create some more jaggedy shapes here. Awesome sauce. Okay. Do I have to include another cloud? I think I have to include another cloud here. Let me see actually how it would look like if I... How would that look? Okay, I can vibe with that. Ooh, I like the color of that cloud right there. Ooh, it's kind of slaying. It's kind of eating. It's delivering. It's serving up good. It's cooking. It is cooking, y'all. Oh my, this brush, it's not the brush, guys. It's not the brush. Let me just clarify that right now. The brush does not make you a good artist. You gotta be a good artist beforehand, before learning how, before really executing masterfully with a brush. Although, let me calm myself down there. I'm not pulling up saying that I'm a master with this brush. This brush makes it pretty easy to be a master. But it's not the brush, guys. It's the artist. It's not the brush. Oh my gosh. I want to make this like a more sharp shape. Bro, literally, look at that, my guy. My guy. It's beautiful. Let me get my smudge brush in here. Blur it out a little bit. We make it a little bit tinier. A little bit bigger. Blur it out a little bit. Get these fun textures. Loving it. I'm loving it. Let me get like this white. Add some nice crispy highlights. Slow. Calling you to flip. Okay, guys, I'm liking how this painting is turning out. Gonna be so honest with you. I'm liking how this painting is turning out. But I would like to put some darkness, some underbelly clouds. Ooh! It's swerving, it's swirling, it's doing all the good shapes, all the good movements that I love to see. Let me peak this a little bit higher up so that it frames this cloud nicely. Sorry, that was a little bit of an outburst. I'm loving the shapes so much of this cloud, y'all. It's something, it's activating like just something. I don't even know how to explain it. But something's happening. Let's get some like pinks in there, but we gotta make sure that it's the same value. Yeah, that's the same value if I've ever seen it. Make it a little bit pearlescent. Very cool. Very cool. Love that quite a bit. Catching some of that pink in the clouds. Let's get some of that blue in there. Ah, these textures. I just love what they're doing for the painting. Let's get some grays. Balance it out a little bit. Actually, no, I hate that. Let's get this blue. Do a little shadow beneath that cloud. Or should I? I kind of like how it looks. Like very nice and just flying in the air. I think I kind of just have to like just define it a little bit more. No, that's a bit too dark. Or maybe not. Maybe I did too much with these here. You know, I think maybe it was just better as those white shapes Because it's like, those are literally clouds, you know? You can't deny that. Those are clouds. Maybe I'll pull up with these colors here. Give these like a very subtle dimensionality to them. Yeah, I think that's just gonna have to do it. Let me get another texture, a little bit of a softer texture. Oh, it looks good. Oopsies. Get some of this. Boom. Oh, let me make it a little bit smaller. I'm not liking it. I'm not digging it. Oh, maybe I can actually bring some of these softness back to this cloud, make it a little bit more soft, like how I want it to be. Put some yellow up in here. I like how that looky. Okay. I don't want to like put so much attention as well to like the clouds in the sky, since it is just clouds in the sky and it's not like the main focus of the painting. I just want it to be there to accentuate it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how this texture would look. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Oh, that's more like leaves. That's not really cloud texture. Ooh, actually, I kind of like it. It's like stars in the sky. Guys, I'm digging this. I'm liking how this is looking. Put some over here. Make it big. Oopsies, might be a little bit too big. Okay, I think that's enough. I don't want to like confuse the eye. But I'm liking how that's looking. Let me get a little bit of a blur here in these foregrounds elements. Soften up some of these textures here. Let me get paintbrush. Let me soften up these values here a little bit. I love it. I'm enjoying this, guys. To be honest, I am enjoying this. I'm sorry, oh my gosh. Guys, I'm enjoying this a lot. Like, I just did a mark and I'm shocked. I didn't know I was capable of doing this. What the heck? This is crazy. Let me soften up these textures here a little bit. Okay, I think that's pretty cool. I like that, to be honest. I like that. Yes. Let me see if I can like pull up like small indications, like a cloud here, like around this area. Just do like the highlights of it. I like that a lot. I'm gonna remove this big splotch, see how that looks. That looks a lot better. How about if it... Oh! That's like awesome! This painting, it's like... It's just... I don't know. Like, I just feel like so happy doing this painting, guys. Isn't that amazing? Let me pull up with the sky color, make these values a little less jarring. Yeah, that's a good. That looks good. Oh my gosh, I've never drawn a sky that looks like this. Like, this is just, I've never drawn a sky that looks like this, guys. It's like an accomplishment, a personal accomplishment for me. I think that value is doing a little bit too much. I think that's fine. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna pull up with a little bit of color dodge on that. I think I am. Look at those clouds. The depth that adds to the freaking painting. It's insane. And then compare that with literally Kakita. What is this? Kakita Sky? Kakita Sky Hour? Not no golden hour over here. This is Kakita Sky Hour. Kakita Sky Hour. And then the texture, the depth, the positioning, honestly, literally credits to this artist over here. Cause like this main, you know, of how these clouds are structured, absolutely beautiful. And I would love to find this artist one day and credit them and just like give them where their props are due, you know what I mean? Because this painting is beautiful, and I'm just so happy that I was able to, with the brushes that I have, with the knowledge and experience I have, I'm just so happy that I was able to paint a sky like this. You know, you guys are probably like, bro, it's literally a sky, it's literally not that deep. But to me, it's deep. To me, it's meaningful. You know what I mean? And it's honestly a little bit funny that the only thing that I've gotten done in this stream is a sky. But it's a good sky, and that's make it or break it, honestly, because what brings the sense of adventure to a painting is a good sky, and this is giving me a sense of adventure with this sky. Rot her. Ooh, that was a little bit too bright. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna try with like a pink. Let's see how that looks. That's amazing. And then I'm gonna do like an orange in the bottom. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna do some orange here in the top. Actually, that's like removing the values there too much. Let me actually do some of this blue, like a color dodge blue. No, I don't think so. I don't think the blue color dodge is really serving. I like it there, like just right there, because it brings in a really nice like saturation here in that section. And let me imply some more, because there's like something going on over here. Let me select the brush I was using. Sorry, this is not the correct brush. Right here. There's like something going on, like over here, and I want to imply more cloud shapes. I love clouds. I love clouds so much. Oh my gosh. Am I crazy? Or is this cloud like one of the best clouds I've ever drawn in my whole entire life? And I'm honestly just gonna say it, and I don't care for any backlash that I might get, but this cloud looks like a Ross Strauss painting. And listen, I know the controversy around him, especially recently, but like when I was a kid, I watched Ross Strauss so much. Like, he was my main art YouTuber, and he is the one that inspired me to start painting digitally. And I've looked up to his art for so long. Now, not so much, knowing the situation that he is in a little bit, to be honest, but like his old art, like when he was in college and stuff like that, like if you look back into his old art, it's honestly, it's beautiful, really. Like, yeah, maybe some pride got a little bit to his head, and he started, losing touch a little bit, but I still have those memories of his old art, really near and dear to my heart, because those were a part of like my journey growing up, my art journey. And I love the light within his paintings, and I love like that color dodge energy within his paintings. It really does suck that he got into AI and stuff like that. Like, bro, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're like, bro, you're like missing the point of like creating art. And it's like, I understand if you were burnt out and you took a break, that's amazing, but do not go to AI, you know what I mean? And I'm happy that with his current art book that he's doing now, there's no AI in it. But still, it's that history that we now know that he has. But I'm so willing to give him a second chance because of what his art meant to me and what his art has done for me when inspiring me to create. And it's like seeing this sky that I'm painting now. I'm not like crediting, like I'm not like praising him or anything, you know what I mean? It's just that feeling of like when you've been inspired by something for so long, right? And it's like you're seeing yourself. I'm not saying that I'm at the level that he is at, because he's a crazy artist, you know what I mean? He has a lot of skill. But to see myself like growing as an artist and growing my skill set so that I can achieve like these type of values and colors, it's very like, it feels very rewarding to me, and I just thank God so much. I thank Jesus and God. Like, it's just, I feel so blessed that I'm able to have a drawing tablet that I can explore and create with, and also the skills that God has given me to be able to paint and feel happy with the painting that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Just really happy with it. But I think I'm gonna stop with the sky for now, because I also don't want to overwork it and then it loses its impact, because, you know, minimalism has a pretty big impact, guys, to be honest. But I want to bring that down a little bit. Very happy with that. Very happy with that. And with that, the stream is over. No, I'm joking. But now I kind of want to, you know, enhance these clouds up here. Oops, this is like super zoomed in. But now I kind of want to enhance these clouds and like sharpen them up a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So let me get that marker brush back in her. Bomboclat. And let me start creating some lines to define this form here. Add some darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Okay. And then let me add some like juicy highlights on this shadow. Oh my gosh, you know what? Actually, this is like reminding me of like a year ago. Oh my gosh, has it really been a year? I don't know, but like around a year ago, there was this art project that I wanted to do for Mermaid that expanded so far from what I originally planned. But what it was is that it was drawing out and illustrating my version of the Little Mermaid story. So it was gonna be like a reading of the Little Mermaid story and me drawing my interpretation of the characters and of the story. Well, not really my interpretation of the story, it's really my interpretation of the visuals of what I am envisioning when I hear the story. And it is a very beautifully written story, at least the first 20 minutes of it, because that's the part that I was going to use for the video that I was planning. And the reason why I bring that up is because there was a painting where there was some clouds that had this same exact like shape, like this same motion, not the same exact shape, but this same motion. Let me actually pull it up so that you guys know what I'm talking about. Let me go to my general art folder and Mermaid, this one right here. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, that's crazy. Oh my gosh, it's like, it's so exposed, like it's so like, it's just like, it feels all over the place. Like, I guess the values are okay, but then you put boosh, it's like a flashbang, you know what I mean? I really like the textures of the mermaid skin that I did here, but the reason why I brought it up is because these clouds, you know, like this motion right here, like this motion of the clouds. Like, wow, you can even see with the colors that I chose how much more desaturated it is. You know, but like you can see here with like the motion of these clouds, it's kind of the same motion that I have with these clouds here, but it's like you can see how the texture and technique of how I drew these clouds differ so much from the technique that I use here. And it's like, wow, it's just cool, you know. It's cool to see how much I've come, how far I've come. It's just cool to see. It's just cool to see. There's something happening with these clouds that I'm not digging. The shapes feel like they're merging, and I'm not liking that so much. So let's just continue working on it. Maybe we can make this cloud just darker in general, so it kind of feels like it's higher up. Or maybe actually, what if I did this and layered it on top of the clouds on the top? So then let me get a airbrush and pass over a little airbrush. A little airbrush moment. Ooh, that's a little desaturated. I'm not digging that. Right here. Do that. That's too much airbrush. Okay, I think that's fine. Let me put some in the center here. Or maybe I can do it with like a watercolor brush, so I don't lose like texture. But these watercolor brushes don't have so much texture. No. Maybe. Ooh, maybe a rake. Oh, I like how that looks. Okay, and then I'll come in with this brush again, paint in some more clouds. Okay, I think I'm just doing too much. Let me go back. This is not looking good. Okay. I think we're getting somewhere. I think I have an opportunity to pull something off will be really cool. Maybe I have a vision, okay? I have a vision in my mind. I have a vision. And I hope I'm able to execute it, because if I do, I'm gonna be pretty sick. Let me just cool it down over here a little bit. These values, I think it's a little bit too much. Or with these paint strokes, it's just a little bit much. And I don't really want to mess up what I painted already. Sorry, I'm like going like quiet, but I have to like lock in for this one, to be honest. Let me do the bottom of the cloud. Oh wait, there's actually a pretty cool opportunity to do a cool cloud shape over here. That's like cutting through the sky. But like maybe only from shadows? To bring in some of this blue over here and balance it out a little bit. Maybe that's what it's missing. Let me get like a softer brush. I'm not liking it. Maybe if I try it again, this time a little bit more subtle. Okay, I think I'm getting to a point that I'm liking it a little bit. I think the blue sky is being too much of a blue sky for the morning. You know, I think I have to chill it out a little bit. Okay, that looks better. I like that. I like that it's just like hints of blue in there. You know? And I think to make this cloud make a little bit more sense, I'm going to go in and paint like a streak. Like that. Paint this streak as well. Yeah, I like that. Paint one here. Maybe here. Or maybe here. Or maybe like closer, actually. Yeah, I like that. And then I think for here I'm gonna put in some form. So what I'm trying to do here for this cloud is kind of like paint like the back of the cloud here. Like you have like the sun coming up and facing this direction, right? So like what I'm imagining, what I'm imagining is that you have a cloud and then you have the dark side of the cloud, right? And that's kind of what I'm doing here, you know, but I don't know if it's really executing the way I want it to be honest. But I think we'll have to do. Okay, I like what I did there, like erasing those parts of the cloud so that it can give these clouds here a little bit more room to breathe. I like that. And I like that motion of the clouds. I'm gonna get some more of this pink color, put it around the sky. Let me get my values so that I'm not like losing track of where I can put it. Okay, so around here. Well, let me get the softer brush to do this actually, so it can be like pretty subtle as well. And let me get some of this color here so I can bring some dimension. Yeah, looks pretty good. Let me maybe fade that out a little bit. Okay, I'm literally falling into the same trap that I had last time. Let me not fall into that again. what if I made this a little bit more purple? Though, what if I went a little crazy like that? Ooh, I don't like that. Maybe it's just too dark. I don't know. Let me see the values. I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan. I think that's too much now. To be honest, I don't want to say it, but I think we're gonna have to take a break from the sky. I don't want to say it because I'm kind of procrastinating working on these buildings. But it's okay because I think I got it to a point where I'm pretty happy with it. I think I want to erase some of this. I say, I'm gonna take a break from the sky and then continue working on the sky. Like, bro, make up your mind. Just gonna continue working on the sky just a little bit longer. Okay, I actually think that shape was pretty beneficial. Let me just do that really quick. Okay, I like that. I like that a little bit. Clouds are fun, but they're a little hard. Clouds are a little hard. I think I'm gonna take a break from that now. Now I'm gonna take a break. So what am I gonna do? Okay, first off, I see this that I have to correct. Okay, nah, I'm good. Second of all, I want to add some birds. Where are the birds? Bird. Let me make them a little bit smaller. Oh, that's nice. Make them a little bit darker. A little bit darker, in case you couldn't hear me correctly. One's here in the foreground. think that's just a tad bit too dark. I'm being so meticulous with these bird placements. Just for me to delete them at the end of the day. I think it's honestly just fine with where they're at right here. Okay, I'm gonna stop working on this sky. I love it, but if you love something, you gotta let it go. Gotta learn to let it go. And on that note, I think I have to make these buildings a little darker. But to be honest, these were just like for the lighting arrangements. I still kind of want to. Let me just put that into a group, and let me paint on top of the sketch. Let me get my paintbrush, the one I like to use. Let me honestly just continue with this one. Actually, no. Actually, I'm not gonna continue with that one. I wonder what brush I want to use for this. I think I want to use what will benefit me the most? I think let's just try the rake for now. Let's just try the rake as I pull in some values of the buildings. Okay, how can I find a way to do this that it won't take us so long? Maybe if I put this to overlay, like if I put this here, or maybe multiply, and then I can do another layer on top of that, put like some highlights on that. That's really bright for that type of building. Okay, I think I can do that. So let me in with the multiply and start putting in some values for these buildings. So I think I'm gonna actually change. I think what's throwing me off with these buildings is just the color of maybe the ones in the back. I think I have to change these ones in the back. Oh, you know what? Honestly, I kind of like how they look without the buildings in the back, but I like the city density. So I'm gonna go in with a clipping layer. I'm gonna see how that looks. No, let's just, no. I think that's good. I think that's good. I think it's better. What if we bring down the opacity? Yeah, I think bringing down the opacity was pretty good. I think that's better than what I had. That makes more sense than what I had. So I'm gonna start with these buildings off foist. Let me get a round brush and try and demo something really quickly. I want to see how it would look like if I do this. Ooh, yeah, that looks actually really good. That actually brings out a lot of depth. So I'm gonna continue doing that. Let me get a little bit brighter. And let me get a rake let me start putting in some values in these buildings. Let me pull up a reference of like a city skyline. City skyline. You know, honestly, they're kind of all the same color. I'm gonna be honest, they're all the same color. So I'm just gonna do different variations of this color. Make one a little bit darker. Oh, got a little darker there. Make this one a little darker. This one a little darker. Make this one a little bit brighter. I'm going crazy now. Actually, maybe I should make that one a bit brighter. Help it stand out. Stand out above the crowd. Even if it gotta shout out loud. Okay, that's actually bringing depth, guys. I don't know why I'm surprised, but I am. That's a bit too dark. Make it a little bit darker. Let me do this color instead. Do you notice me? I like bringing up the value from the bottom, the color from the bottom, like of where the streets would be, over here, bringing it up instead of down, because then it kind of gives it the illusion of like the street is bringing up light. I don't like it in that building though, because it doesn't really make sense in that building. And it brings up the texture as well, so it doesn't make it feel so flat. I like that. I actually do. Let me bring in some nice juicy highlights. Let me first make that side a little darker. I like that. Sorry, that was a little weird. That was a little strange. I wonder why I did that. Okie dokie, smoky. Make that building a little darker. A little darker. A little darker. I think I'm getting a little tired. That's why I'm like acting like this. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty. Donkey. I kind of like how it looks better without the line art, so I'm gonna go in with an eraser and just erase the line art. Psych! I ain't doing that. You child, you tripping? Like, you must be tripping. For real. But for now, I think I'm just gonna go select it, which still takes up pretty long time, but it's not so bad. I just want to do it. Take out the lines. I hope that this painting is good and I'm not like hyping it up in my mind. Oh, actually, guys, I don't think I'm hyping it up in my mind. I think it's actually looking pretty good. I'm actually happy with how this city is looking, which is great, because I don't draw cities like at all. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get some box brush. I'm gonna do like, ooh, we got a little bit of light in that building. Ooh, we got a little bit of light in that building. Got some buildings here. Ooh, got a little bit of light in that building. Ooh, got a little bit of light in that building. Actually, that looks bad. That looks a little bad. I think instead of doing it with light, I think I'm gonna, ooh, I like that. I like that. Put some fun textures up in there. Yeah. Yes, sir. And now you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pull up with the lines. Oopsies, what the heck? Actually, I'm gonna do it darker lines. The lines. Yeah. Now that looks pretty sick. And then I'm gonna get color, split it up a little bit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's looking pretty dope-alicious. That's looking pretty dope-alicious right now. I'm loving the texture that it's giving to the buildings. I'm loving like the pollution core that like the light is having. I love the implied shapes. I love that it's not taking me a long time to have this effect, to create this effect. And then you know what I'm gonna do afterwards? I'm gonna do something phenomenal. I'm gonna make history. And I'm gonna add some rim light upon these buildings. But I'm gonna make it nice and orange, so it really communicates. Oh, yes, that's good. Oh my gosh, praise the Lord, y'all. Praise the Lord for this day he has made. Oh my gosh. Let me make sure that the values are right though. Yeah, those values are cooking. Those values are cooking. Love it. It's morning time. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Guys, I did not think that, like, literally, let's look at what it looks like before. Let me zoom in so that you guys can get a better look. But let's look at how it looked before. Revert. Look at how that has shifted. Literally, this was caca, and this is like, ah, not caca. Praise the Lord. Thank you, God. now I'm gonna try something even crazier. I'm gonna try do some sharp highlights upon these buildings because they are like glass, so it would make sense. Oh my gosh. Buildings are so reflective. They be reflecting like crazy. I like that texture that I gave that building. Let me outline it a little bit on the edge, so it has that little bit of an edge to it. Oh, I don't want to outline it too much that it takes away. You know what's funny, honestly? Like, probably like years into the future, or like probably like 5 months, when I get more comfortable with drawing landscapes, I'll like look at this and be like, why did I think this was like goated? You know? 'Cause that's normally how these things go. Okay, I think that's it for those buildings in the back. In the background, let me actually, before I call these buildings finished, let me do that really quick to establish this building a little bit more. Is it good? Well, I mean, the values are there, and it's like separating itself against the background quite harshly. So I think that's fine. Maybe I can put a little bit of an airbrush so that it doesn't stand out so much. So it can be a little bit more on the background. Well, that's a bit much. But I don't want to overpower the buildings with the airbrush. Okay, that looks a little bit more accurate to like a city skyline when it's like far in the distance like that. And I think I want to stop it there. I don't want to continue blowing it out a little bit. I mean, I don't want to continue blowing it out, period. And I think from there I could start working on these buildings here. But I think right now I'm going to stop the stream. We did a lot of progress. We talked about my notan studies. We talked about the first painting study that I did within this little challenge of getting better at painting backgrounds. And can we just like take a little like peek at the comparison? I mean, maybe it's not like drastic. I mean, obviously it won't be so drastic right now. It's not finished, and also it's just been like a week. But I mean, the sky looks better. The painting feels more immersive, and the buildings in the background, they feel like more in space, like immersive with the environment. This one feels a little bit more drab looking at it. This one feels more original. So yeah, we looked at the first painting study I did, and we looked at some notan studies I did over here, really practicing those values and really solidifying that knowledge and that core of it's the values that really make a landscape, and also experimenting with value range within more complex scenes and practicing those technical drawing skills, and you know, just practicing it a little bit more, and then taking us to where we are right now. So I mean, this painting is going to be fun to document with you guys. I'm really excited to see how this turns out, and I hope it turns out good. But I will be live streaming tomorrow if everything goes according to plan, if everything goes fine. Obviously, if I have something unexpected coming up, depending on what it is, I might not be able to stream, but I definitely plan on streaming tomorrow. So if you guys are interested in seeing how this painting unfolds, you can check out my stream tomorrow. So I hope you all enjoyed this stream and oh, I just silenced. I hope you all enjoyed this stream, and I just want to leave you guys with knowing. Wait, I'm sorry, that didn't sound right. I just want to leave you guys. Wait, I want to. Before I leave, I just want to tell you again that Jesus loves you so much, and that He has sacrificed Himself so that He can just fully accept you. He fully accepts you as who you are, and He changes and develops you and makes you into a really beautiful, more like a beautiful version of yourself. And yes, though we struggle, persevere, and the reward will be worth it. And just know that Jesus loves you no matter who you are, no matter the position you are in, no matter what you have done, because it is not through work that you get saved. It is a free gift. It is a free gift of salvation that Jesus has made possible through His sacrifice. And I just wanted to leave you guys knowing that. And I just wanted to thank you guys again for allowing this stream to be so much fun. And I had such a great time talking to you guys, and I had such an awesome time with this stream. And I just hope that you guys have a blessed day, and I hope that you enjoyed this stream as well. So I'll see you all tomorrow.